I'm also a dragon in the Chinese zodiac.
I'm a pig. Tell me what you do.
I run Microsoft Research for the Americas.
Is it all of America's? What is all of America's?
It's mostly Redmond, New York City, Cambridge, Mass, and Montreal.
Okay, that explains so much. Because you know what I was thinking?
You're thinking like Latin America?
Yes. And I was like, that is a lot of space for you to cover. When you were a kid, were you like, I want to be an executive when I grow up?
I actually am not the type of person as a kid that had a big life plan. I studied architecture. I knew that I wanted to live in Tokyo, so I have a lot of family there. So I did that. I went back, lived in New York, just started a journey there that's been super incredible.
That's so interesting. So you were an architect in Tokyo.
Yeah.
You came to the States. You were just like, let me do Microsoft.
No. So I was an architect in Tokyo. After undergrad, I worked for the company that designed the Burj. So we did amazing things. And then I went back to NYU in the research group at Apple. And then I came to Microsoft.
So you've been at Microsoft since 1995,
Which is forever, yeah.
I wasn't even born then. And prior, you were at Apple. What events, the biggest wow moment or anything that you saw develop that you're like, I can't believe this is actually happening during this lifetime?
I've had so many. This guy named Rick Rashid, who started Microsoft Research, I was telling him, when we were at Apple, we did this redesigning the operating system project. We did QuickTime. We worked on all this stuff. Came back to me and he said, your idea to redesign the operating system, that sounds great. Like, what should we do? And I wasn't an operating systems researcher. We made all these really cool prototypes of what it should be. And Rick said, I think we should really do a fireside chat with Bill. And I was thinking, like, oh, you want me to show Bill Gates like how I think we should redesign the operating system? It's kind of a terrifying moment, but amazing. I've been so lucky to work with legendary people. There was this guy named Rayazi. We wouldn't have Azure without him. He started the cloud, and I got to work directly for him, and I ran his labs. Working with people who've really invented huge areas, just the way they think, that's just been unbelievable.
Pretend I'm 5, which shouldn't be hard because I look so young. You talk about AI research. Break it down for me.
AI is everywhere, as you know. It's really changed with these large models that can really do a lot better job at understanding everything you say. One of the things that we're looking at is, how does AI change the way you work? What is research even? It's just a really interesting time to be in this space because I think AI is not just touching people who are extremely academic or in the tech world, but it's really touching like every field, every person, every job.
I'm curious, okay, what do you use AI for?
Pretty much everything. One of my favorite uses of AI is just meetings.
Yeah, I love when it gives you a summary and you're about to meet them again. And you're like, of course, I remembered all this information about you. So I want to get your thoughts. Like, do you think AI will ever take over human judgment?
I don't think we really know. I mean, maybe there's some things where it would be good for it to give you more input on judgment or help you see things that you don't see. I mean, our world is so polarized right now. If it could help with that, that would be amazing.
What should AI be and what shouldn't it be? From your perspective, like how would you utilize it versus not?
I think today we're learning how to use AI because it's still pretty new. So I would encourage people to use it and to think about how is it helping you to learn and kind of be that person that you wish to be, like your better self, right? How is it helping you achieve your goals? What are your goals? You ultimately have to decide how you use your time and what your goals are, what your morals are, who your friends are, what your dreams are.
Yeah.
And so I think it's important for people to spend more time on that, maybe than just consuming information all the time.
So I use AI as like my therapist. Would you recommend that? Now it's time to play Exec on the spot. I'm going to throw a variety of questions at you. The only rule is you have to answer fast. No overthinking, no strategy deck. No, let me take this offline. I'll be testing your quick thinking and if these execs work well under pressure. Are you ready, Lili?
I'm ready.
What's the best advice you've ever received?
Surround yourself with people you can learn from.
Worst advice.
People who really want you to have a 10-year plan.
Sparkling or still?
Sparkling.
Dine in or take out?
Dine in.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
I wish I could fly.
Oh, convenient. Your biggest ick?
Sewers.
AI or the microwave?
AI.
What? I love the microwave though.
But you have the air fryer. You have other tools.
If they can make an AI microwave, that would be my dream come true. If you were cast in a movie, who would you want to play you?
I would have to say Lucy Liu.
If you weren't in tech, what would you be doing?
Like a Japanese gardener.
Oh, okay. No, I like that. With your bonsai tree.
A bigger garden.
So being Chinese and Japanese in the tech industry in the late 90s, how has that impacted your growth and where you are now?
So my mom is Japanese and my dad is Chinese, and they met in college. But I actually grew up in Omaha, Nebraska. My high school was not particularly diverse, and so I always felt like a little bit of an insider outsider. And I think that has been a big part of my identity. So I have been really lucky at Microsoft because I felt like I've always been able to be who I am. Maybe I'm also a little bit oblivious, so that helps. I think research is a place where people are all different because they've thought differently. They've succeeded in a way. Often they have an idea that others don't believe in and they've persevered.
So would you say being oblivious helped with your success?
Yeah, I think so. I'm kind of like live very much in the moment. I don't really hold grudges. I don't think about 10 years in the future and my plans. So it's allowed me to be flexible as opportunities come up.
How do you personally stay grounded and keep updated with all the new trends that are happening?
How to keep up with things is it could be a double full-time job. One thing I think I probably do a good job of is I don't get too stressed about keeping up with everything. When I was an architect, we used to have to do this thing as like freshmen in college where they would give you more work than you could ever possibly do. There's this myth of architects staying up like all night working. But I think I just learned to be okay with not doing everything. People need to learn to do that too. There's more than you could ever possibly know, learn, do. But you just have to think about what's the most important thing that I could do and just start there.
So I've noticed how you're saying design and restructuring. Would you say like your experience as being an architect really helped you in this role?
Yeah, I mean, if you really know me, being an Asian in Nebraska and working as an architect, those are things that are really essential to like my identity and who I am. I tend to think about systems and urban design and cities, how that impacts people, the things that you actually touch and use a lot. And architects are really fun. Like you go to a party and you say you're an architect, everybody knows exactly what you do and you're interesting. In the beginning, I would say I worked at Apple or Microsoft and people would just sort of walk away. Now they don't, right? Because it's really changed.
So you're saying the party trick is just saying you're an architect and people will love you?
They don't believe me anymore. It's not really who I think I am anymore. I think it does shape who I am a lot and the way that I think about things.
I would like to give you the floor to give any words of wisdom to everyone that is watching and who's aspiring, especially with their career, with their personal growth, if you have anything to say to them.
I think there's a lot of stress in the world today, and I would encourage people take it moment by moment a little bit, appreciate the small things, the beauty in the world around you, especially the people around you that give you joy every day. Imagine yourself at 90 and think about what regrets you don't want to have.
Thank you so much for having me here today. It was such a pleasure talking to you. And for those who are watching, make sure to check out Execs on Spot and let me know who else you want me to interview next. Chow mein or ramen?
Ramen.
Ramen or udon?
Ramen.
Ramen or Peking roast duck?
Roast duck.
Roast duck or onigiri?
Roast duck.
Roast duck or wonton soup?
Roast duck.
Roast duck or mapo tofu?
Roast duck.
Roast duck or hot pot?
Roast duck.
Roast duck or sushi?
Oh, sushi.
And that's the final answer. Is sushi your favorite food?
It's just more, it has more variety than roast duck.
Yeah.
So another fun fact is my dad's family have a really well-known Chinese restaurant in Tokyo. So I have to like put a finger on the roast duck a little bit.
Well, you did a great job. And a fun fact now, you and Lucy Liu have something in common because I played this game with Lucy Liu. So now.
And she likes roast duck also? No.
She picked roast duck, and then at the end, she did hot pot.